Charlie Kirk did such a brilliant job with our young men. So how do we reach out to our young women? It's the difference. You know what I mean? The young women really need to be reached out to.
Yeah, I totally agree. So the question is, how do we get them? How do we get young women?
Yeah, how do we
I
get
will
them?
say, so let me tell you a couple things. One of the things I'm going to say is probably controversial, like if I said it in front of a bunch of libs, but we were noticing in the polling, this is before what happened to Charlie, that with our youngest women that are of voting age, so 18 to 21, Yale Youth Survey poll did this poll on 18 to 21-year-old women, and we saw for the first time an R+4 with young women. Now, that was pre-Iran, pre some of the stuff with Israel, some of the stuff with Epstein. It's possible that's slid back the other direction because those things were very unpopular with young people. And that was something Charlie and I would talk a lot about, Danny. I'm sure you were talking about it a lot with him too. And so it's possible that slipped back, but it was the first time I've ever seen an R plus anything with young women. The young men, I think, were like R19, R plus 19. So we were already seeing the youngest women, and then Gen Alpha behind Gen Z are more conservative still. So there's good things coming. So keep the faith on that. There was actually an NBC article that came out, and it was asking the question, can Erica Kirk be to women what Charlie Kirk was to young men? And I think the answer is, in my opinion, and Mike, I'd love your perspective on this, if you listen to her speeches, they were, especially, I think back to the memorial speech, where she spoke directly to husbands and wives and young women, and she said to young women, you are not your husband's rival. You're not going to be, your virtue is a strength.
Yeah.
And so I do think she is calling out I guess you would say, the idols of our age, because young women think they have to be promiscuous. They have to flaunt their physical bodies all over the place where their hemline meets their neckline. And it's, that I think is it's out of fashion more and more with young people. And 30 seconds of what
So Charlie had this ability to reach young men and give them direction, but young women are the ones that are further to the left than young men, just in the data that we see. And that's because they're the ones that pay attention to what the professor says in class, where the young men maybe are on Snapchat or social